And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 8th race of the season here in the Oreo Truck Series. Getting ready for our first road course race as we're here at Infineon Raceway for what should be an exciting Truck Series event. This is going to be the running of the Welch's Grape Juice 150 with Sean Henley sitting on the pole. He's slowly and steadily and silently been moving his way up in the points. Currently sits 8th in points with the pole for today's race, alongside a guy who took the points lead away from Nick Eggleston last week after our race at Atlanta. That is Matthew Rodriguez. He comes in with a 5-point advantage over Nick Eggleston in the standings. Nice qualifying run for the current points leader. Don't forget, Matthew Rodriguez is a former Truck Series champion. That happened back in Season 3. On the inside of row number 2, that's going to be Andrew Gonzalez, another driver who started out the season well, but he's now slipped down to 23rd in points. So hopefully today, with this good qualifying run, he'll be able to come away with a nice top 5 finish. Alongside of him, that is going to be Charles Jackson. Charles Jackson in the 29 comes into this race 33rd in the points. It's not been a great season so far for that Richard Childress Racing Chevy Silverado. And then lining up on the inside of row number 3, that's going to be Tony Blazer. He'll complete the top 5. He comes in 32nd in points. So both he and Jackson looking for good runs today to get themselves possibly back inside the top 20 in points. Last week's winner, Sky Commons, not sure where he's starting, but he's going to try and work his way up through the field to try to go for his second Truck Series win in a row. Enough talk, time to find out who's going to start where before we put them under the green flag here today at Infineon. These drivers, hopefully they've done a lot of testing here because they're pretty slick racing conditions today. You get that dust kicked up on the track, it makes it even slipperier. They're going to have their hands full in an exciting event here today at Infineon Raceway. Alright, we're getting ready to go to green flag racing. They're working their way down through the exit of the S's before they'll come down here to the final corner, and then they'll take the hairpin turn, or the paperclip turn, whatever you want to call it, that famous turn 11, which is almost a complete 180-degree turn, and then we will put them under the green flag. Only 12 laps of racing here today. May not seem like much, but this track is so long. It takes them so long to get around this racetrack. This is not exactly unusual to have such a low number of laps at a road course such as Infineon Raceway. I was looking through the field here as they were getting ready to be put under the green flag, and I did notice a few drivers that are up in points that are running well for the start of this race. Felix Harris comes into this race 5th in points, 2nd in rookie points. He is going to start this race in 6th. Of course, Nick Eggleston, 2nd in points, only 5 points behind Matthew Rodriguez. He's starting inside the top 10. James McLeod and Hayden Klein, some other drivers inside the top 15 who are looking for good runs here today, are starting inside the top 15 in this race. Here we go, though. Green flag's about to come out. Sean Henley ready to get us underway. And there it is. The green flag is waving here today at Infineon Raceway. They're coming up to one of our 3 trouble spots of this track. It's going to be turn number 2 right here. Let's see if they can make it through here without bringing out a caution. Normally that does not happen. And there goes one car off the track already. That was the Rohit Vidarvu machine. That may have brought the caution out already. A lot of drivers have a difficult time being able to brake there and give enough room to their competitors Waiting to see, yes, caution lights are indeed on. Sean Henley with a nice advantage of about 3 car lengths over Matthew Rodriguez. It's always good to start on the pole for a road course race because, you know, you're able to get the lead, and normally you see a lot more single file racing than anything here at a road course, so the higher up you start, the better your chances of leaving with a top 10 finish. Matthew Rodriguez trying to close up that gap there, not certain if he wants to race against Sean Henley that early, because they are, of course, coming down to a caution flag. Charles Jackson 3rd, Tony Blazer 4th. In 5th place right now, I believe, is Nick Eggleston. And there you see Rohit Vidarbu's machine down there on pit road. He was involved. There was another car involved, too. I couldn't tell who it was. So there's the caution. They're going to come around here and pick up the pace car. Rohit Vidarbu and a few others end up becoming our first caution of the day when they slipped up here in turn number 1. Let's take a look and see what happened. Well, the best way to determine what happened is really with our helicopter view. Look at them. They're all literally nose to tail shoving each other into this corner. And the contact, well, it almost looks like it's Jack Richards. He gets in and pushes Rohit Vidarbu off the track right there. Oh, there's Ron Vajara Jr. He's going to get turned around by Christopher Martin, rather, further up. Vidarbu gets the wall. I'm sorry, not Jack Richards. I kept saying Jack Richards. That's last year. That's actually Tryphon Reed in the 6th. He's going to get the wall. And up ahead here, there is Ron Vajara Jr. spun around. Margaret Mason gets a piece of him. Bob Jones going to get a little piece of him. Sky Commons, last week's winner, working his way through here after he started in the final row. Jacob Cook, Kyle Sosnowski, Anthony McCurry, a lot of drivers able to get by the spun out Ron Vajara Jr. machine. I apologize for that fail in the 6th. It's Tryphon Reed. He got the wall, but he was able to drive away. Not so lucky for Rohit Vidarbu. His car, I believe, got caught in that tire barrier, and his day is done. As there you see him sitting on pit road. Pretty heavy-duty damage to the left side of that car, especially the left front of that 09 Zaxby Ford F-Series. So a tough break for Rohit Vidarbu. He and Tryphon Reed, along with the spinning Ron Vajara Jr. machine, become our first caution. Let's go back to green. Lights are out top the pace car. We'll go back to green flag racing on lap 4 of 12, giving us a total of 9 laps to go here today at Infineon. A few drivers have gone back behind the wall, including Rhett Yates, Rohit Vidarbu, and Nicole Williams. I don't know what Nicole Williams or Rhett Yates are back behind the wall for. I didn't see them get involved in anything, but there may have been something that we didn't get the replay of, so a tough break for them, especially Nicole Williams. I mean, she had a great run last week at Atlanta in her debut and ended up moving that rookie ride up to 15th in points and now finds herself out of the race. Henley's going to be the leader, Matthew Rodriguez 2nd, Charles Jackson 3rd, Tony Blazer 4th, and Andrew Gonzalez is 5th. Nick Eggleston 6th, Felix Harris 7th, Hayden Klein 8th, Dylan Poteet 9th, and James McLeod completes the top 10. The rest of the top 15 are Adam Chambers, Dylan Young, Ryan Acosta, Eric Burton, and Trent Dunham. As we go back to green here, Sean Henley ready to get us back underway. There's the green flag back out. Let's see if these drivers have learned turn 1 here. Are they going to end up wrecking here again? As here comes Charles Jackson, looking to try and get around Matthew Rodriguez for a second on the high side. Matthew Rodriguez is going to have the advantage coming into this corner. Oh man, they split up there. They really split up. I think they may have wrecked back there before they even got up to turn 1. There's a huge gap back from about Felix Harris in 5th place all the way back to, I believe, is now in 6th, Dylan Poteet. That may have involved Nick Eggleston and company. I don't know, but caution is out, and that must have happened coming up the hill towards turn 1. Henley still the leader, though. These cautions are kind of Henley's best friend, I guess you could say. I mean, with the fact that each caution keeps Matthew Rodriguez from being able to get any momentum to try and run him down. However, keep in mind, each caution then bunches the field back up as well. So I'm not exactly sure on which side of the spectrum Henley is as far as whether he wants to have the cautions come out or he'd prefer it to be green flag racing, because, you know, one way could end up being a costly error as far as having a caution come out or not, or the other way could, as there's the caution. Henley will lead us once again. The caution this time going to come out for, not rightly sure, may have been Christopher Martin in the 48, but he wasn't running so far up ahead that there should have been that huge gap. These are the drivers I thought could have been involved. Nick Eggleston, maybe Galligan, Hayden Klein, but maybe not. I'm trying to see, is there any damage on the Nick Eggleston machine? There may be. He may have spun out in front of the field there. Yes, there is some left side damage to the Everfi Toyota Tundra, but I don't know. Second in points, Nick Eggleston running up right now in the 14th position. So if the caution came out, must have been for a spin that they were able to easily recover from. So we'll take a look at a replay. Well, here it was right here. I was right. It was up at the front of the field. Nick Eggleston and Andrew Gonzalez both are going to get together. Down into that corner of the inside retaining wall they go. And then Andrew Gonzalez is going to back it into the outside retaining wall there. Nick Eggleston, not much of anywhere to go as he still runs into the back of the 16. And that's a tough break for Andrew Gonzalez there as he's got some pretty heavy-duty damage to that car. Keep in mind, that's not safer barriers that are here at this track. They're mostly tire barriers, and I'm not really exactly sure what the white barriers are actually made out of. And there is Hayden Klein. He got turned around by somebody. So he was indeed another driver involved. And then something must have happened, I think, to Christopher Martin. He was running way, way back there. Oh, no, he started at the back of the pack anyway. So the caution coming out for the two drivers who made their return to the Oreo Truck Series here this season. Andrew Gonzalez there in the 16, and right behind him, Nick Eggleston in the 98. Gonzalez, as I mentioned, came into this race 23rd in points. Eggleston second in points. And Hayden Klein, we saw spin out there, he came in 12th in points. So a few drivers that are running well in points getting involved here in our second caution of the day as Henley continues to lead. Let's go back to green. Here we go, getting ready to go back under the green flag. We have passed the halfway point. It'll be lap 7 of 12 when we go back under green, giving us 6 laps to go in today's race. No drivers from that incident retired from the race. We still have 3 DNFs. They are Nicole Williams, Rohit Vidarvu, and Carter Keselowski. I last time realized I ended up saying Rhett Yates. For some reason, I'm thinking into Season 4 instead of here where we are in the present in Season 5, so I apologize for that. Sean Henley is the leader. Matthew Rodriguez second. Charles Jackson third. Tony Blazer fourth, and Felix Harris is in fifth. James McLeod sixth. Dylan Poteet seventh. Eighth is Adam Chambers. Andrew Gonzalez still continuing on the top 10 in ninth. And 10th place will be Ryan Acosta. Then it's Eric Burton, Trent Dunham, Dylan Young, Nick Eggleston, and Emilio Navarrete. That is the top 15. Green flag ready to come back out. Third time it'll come out. Here we go. Sean Henley going to get back underway. Let's see if Matthew Rodriguez is going to be able to hang with the 43. Looks like he will. All over the back bumper of Sean Henley. Oh, almost gets into him off this corner. Look at him pushing him through the corner. Oh, Henley got turned. Oh, up and riding the wall. Oh, bring it back up here. Bring it back up. Yes, he can, but he lost a lot of ground there. Oh, almost makes some contact with James McLeod. Henley getting turned by Matthew Rodriguez. Led this whole race so far. And all of a sudden, he slipped all the way back, somewhere just inside the top 10. I'd say he maybe slipped back to 10th place. Matthew Rodriguez is now the leader. And oh, Alex Tanker's on pit road. There must be a caution. Alex Tanker, heavy front-end damage to Interstate Batteries Toyota Tundra. But Matthew Rodriguez getting into the left rear, or actually it was the right rear, of Sean Henley. Turned him and gets the lead in the 14. The points leader is now out in front with Charles Jackson into second. Third place, Tony Blazer. Felix Harris fourth, and James McLeod now into fifth place. There they passed the damaged Alex Tanker machine. There's another car on pit road there too. Couldn't tell who it was. It was a red car. I couldn't tell if that might have been. I think that was Adam Chambers, but I don't know. Caution flag waves. Where did Henley fall all the way back to? Back to 7th place did Henley go. And the caution wave... Oh, no, there's no caution. It was Ron Bajaro Jr. and Alex Tanker that got involved, but they didn't throw the caution flag. We're still green here at Infineon. So apparently that wreck must have happened far enough off the track that they didn't have to wave the caution. And so Matthew Rodriguez is still going to lead. Let's see if Charles Jackson can try running him down. Rodriguez comes into this race with a 5-point advantage over Nick Eggleston. Eggleston's back somewhere battling for 10th place. Let's try and find him, actually. Nick Eggleston, the 98, currently back in, well, actually he's fallen a ways back. He's now back in the 17th position, now getting passed by Rod Houston and Richard Johnson. Eggleston may be off the pace. We saw him get involved in that incident with Andrew Gonzalez, and I think Nick Eggleston is off the pace. He is steadily slipping back through the field. What a tough break for Nick Eggleston, and that 98 team came in with such high hopes. Where is Henley? There he is, currently in the 8th position now, as he just lost a spot to the Ryan Acosta machine. Now he's getting hounded from Eric Burton, Dylan Young, Dylan Poteet, and Trent Dunham lined up back there. Henley comes into this race, as we mentioned, 8th in points. He was looking for the win. He almost ended up getting turned and wrecking. It was a nice save by him going up on that somewhat 45-degree slope after coming off of turn number 1. A very nice save by the 43. Doesn't look like he's going to win today's race, though, unless something happens. Very tough break there for the Best Buy Ford. I don't think he'll be too disappointed if he finishes top 10, though, because of the fact he comes in 8th in points. But I know for certain Henley was certainly looking for the win today based on his qualifying result of getting the pole. Meanwhile, Matthew Rodriguez continues to lead, but his gap is starting to dwindle. Charles Jackson is starting to run him down. As they'll come down to the stripe, there'll be a total of 3 laps to go here today at Infineon. Matt Rod, the leader. Charles Jackson second. How about Tony Blazer? Nice run for him. Currently 32nd in points. A nice run for him. Felix Harris right behind him. Right now the current highest running rookie, as he and Danica Shirley have been battling for the points lead in the rookie points. Felix Harris came into this race 3 points behind Danica Shirley for that points lead. Right now, running in 4th place, he is currently the new rookie points leader, as he came in also 5th in overall points. Let's find out where Danica actually is running in the 3 truck. We haven't talked about her all day. All the way back in 22nd place, mired back there, is where we find Danica Shirley, now trying to get underneath Chris Dollerton. Nearly made some contact with the 83 there. That was an awfully close call there between Danica and Dollerton. Looks like she's going to clear him, though. She's going to take away the 21st position. So Danica trying to work her way up through the field. Let's find out where last week's winner, Sky Commons, is running. Yeah, he didn't qualify well for this race, and he's mired all the way back here in the 37th position. Commons, his win ended up moving him up to 11th in points. And now it doesn't look like he's going to be able to capitalize on that and move into the top 10. There's another driver up ahead who's had a few good runs in the last 2 weeks, Luke Martin. Or not Luke Martin, make that Luke Walker. Oh, he nearly got turned by Anthony McCurry off turn 11. He's not having a good run today at all. Currently back in the 36th position after picking up what I believe were 2 straight top 10 finishes in the last 2 events at Castle Gorge and Atlanta Motor Speedway. There is Nick Eggleston. He has steadily been moving the wrong direction. Now all the way back in the 30th position is 2nd in points. One driver who is in the top 5 in points that we have not talked about all day is Adam Chambers. He's worked his way up, now currently running in the 6th position. So Chambers today could capitalize on Nick Eggleston's misfortunes, and we could see Nick Eggleston drop as far down as maybe 5th in the points due to the runs that are going on by Matthew Rodriguez, Adam Chambers, and Felix Harris. Nice run for James McLeod as well there in the 30. He is 9th in points, and so this is a good opportunity for him to move even further up in the top 10 in points. We know that Alex Tanker's had problems today as he was involved in a wreck. Tanker is currently scored 7th in points, James McLeod 9th in points, so McLeod will probably gain at least 1 spot today. Also, Christopher Martin's been having some trouble today in that 48 as he came in 6th in points, so McLeod could pick up 2 or 3 spots in the standings today if he can keep that top 5 run going. Right now, Matthew Rodriguez, he's been able to open the gap up between himself and Charles Jackson, keep it a steady 4 to 5 car lengths as we're on the final lap. Matthew Rodriguez, I think, has got this thing, unless he makes some kind of a mistake, but I don't see Matthew Rodriguez, 2-time NNSCRA champion, making any kind of mistake here through the S's. We'll see, though. Here they go through the serpentine turns. Is Matthew Rodriguez going to try and make it steadily through this exit? Yes, he will. Matthew Rodriguez Maybe not the best way to take the lead as he ended up getting into Sean Henley and turning him for the top spot, but Matthew Rodriguez nonetheless, the points leader, going to make the gap even higher as Matthew Rodriguez will come around. He will come to the checkered flag. No challenge from Charles Jackson. He's not even close enough to make a challenge. And Matthew Rodriguez will come down and he will win today at Infineon. A very nice win there for Matthew Rodriguez and that 14 team, and this is certainly going to help him extend his points lead in the Oreo Truck Series Championship standings. Matthew Rodriguez, this is his first Truck Series win of the season in that 14 truck. And as always, we'll take a look at the top 10 for this race. Rodriguez wins. Charles Jackson going to get second. Nice runner-up finish for him. A well-needed finish for him, too. Tony Blazer going to get third. Highest finishing rookie of the race, Felix Harris. James McLeod going to get fifth. Adam Chambers in sixth. Ryan Acosta, nice run for him. It's been a while since he's finished inside the top 10. He'll get seventh. Eighth place, that's going to be Sean Henley, who some people may argue should have won this race, but he'll still get a top 10. Eric Burton going to finish the day in ninth. Nice run for him. And how about Dylan Young? Very impressive run for him in the top 10. Dylan Young's been actually putting some good runs together, moved his way up to 17th in points, so he may be on a bit of a streak right now of trying to get up inside the top 10 in points. Well, Matthew Rodriguez came in as the points leader, and he had an agenda, and that was to win, extend that points lead, and he has done it here today. Matthew Rodriguez wins at Infineon, and I'm not exactly sure how large his points lead will be heading into next week. Adam Chambers, Felix Harris, they finished well, so it won't be that huge a gap, I don't think. But Nick Eggleston's going to be the biggest loser today. He's going to drop several spots in the standings, no doubt about that, after he was the points leader heading into last week's race at Atlanta and came in second in points here today. Well, folks, hope you enjoyed today's Infineon Raceway event. We have Mobile and Snickers Cup Series events coming your way as well here from the West Coast. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become a part of the crew today. Here comes your official finish results, your overall points, and your rookie points heading into next week's race, which I believe are going to come from Kansas Speedway. So I hope you'll tune in for that. We'll see you guys next time here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel, Offline Racing at its best.
Thank you.